Dr. Elena Vasquez pressed her palm against the cold metal surface of the abandoned spacecraft, feeling the strange vibrations that still hummed through its hull even after 3 years. The massive vessel stretched across what used to be Central Park, its obsidian surface reflecting the gray New York sky like a mirror made of liquid shadow. "Still active," she murmured into her recorder, watching the faint blue lights pulse along the ship's underbelly. Day 1127 since initial contact, and the vessels continue to emit low-frequency electromagnetic signatures. The invasion had lasted exactly 47 minutes. Elena remembered that Tuesday morning with crystalline clarity. She had been reviewing satellite data at the International Space Observatory when the first ships appeared, not gradually, not announced by radio signals or atmospheric disturbance, but simply materializing in Earth's atmosphere as if they had always been there. Within minutes, identical vessels hovered over every major city. New York, London, Tokyo, Mumbai, Sao Paulo, Cairo. The world held its breath. Then came the beams. Not destructive rays or weapons of annihilation, but columns of soft, pearl-white light that descended from each ship like gentle fingers reaching toward the ground. Where the light touched, people simply paused. Not frozen, not harmed, but caught in a moment of perfect stillness, their faces turned upward with expressions of serene wonder. Elena had watched from her observatory as millions of people worldwide stood motionless in those beams of light, their eyes reflecting the same ethereal glow that emanated from the ships. For 47 minutes, the planet existed in a state of suspended animation while the beings within the vessels conducted their mysterious purpose. Then, as abruptly as they had arrived, the ships went dark. The beams vanished. The affected humans blinked, looked around in confusion, and continued with their lives as if nothing had happened. But the ships remained, dormant monuments scattered across the globe like sleeping giants. Subject exhibits no memory of the event. Elena continued her recording, thinking of her own experience. She had been among those caught in the light, though she only knew this from security footage. Her last clear memory was of rushing outside to observe the phenomenon firsthand. The next thing she knew, she was standing in the same spot, but the sun had moved across the sky and her equipment showed a gap of nearly an hour. What haunted Elena wasn't what the aliens had done. No one had been harmed. Nothing had been taken or destroyed. It was what they hadn't done. After 3 years of intensive study, humanity had learned nothing about their visitors. The ships were impenetrable, constructed from materials that defied analysis. They didn't respond to any form of communication, showed no signs of occupancy, yet continued to hum with that mysterious energy. "Dr. Vasquez." Her assistant's voice crackled through the radio. "We're getting those readings again." Elena looked up at the ship's smooth hull, where hairline cracks of light were beginning to trace intricate patterns across its surface. This had been happening more frequently lately, brief moments when the vessels seemed to wake from their slumber, displaying complex geometries of illumination before falling silent once more. "They're trying to tell us something?" she whispered, watching the lights dance across the alien metal. But what message could beings capable of crossing the cosmos be trying to convey to a species they had observed for less than an hour? As the lights faded back to dormancy, Elena made a decision that had been building in her mind for months. Tomorrow she would attempt direct contact. She had developed a new electromagnetic pulse sequence based on the ship's own energy signatures, a kind of technological knock on their door. The aliens had come to Earth for a purpose, touched millions of human minds, and then retreated into silence. But Elena refused to believe their story was over. Somewhere in the quantum depths of their slumbering vessels, she was certain they were still watching, still waiting. The question was, waiting for what? Elena gathered her equipment as the first stars appeared in the darkening sky, each one a reminder of the vast cosmic neighborhood humanity had barely begun to explore. Tomorrow, she would learn whether Earth's silent visitors were ready to break their mysterious silence, or if some secrets were meant to remain buried in the space between worlds.